ក្រុមគណៈកម្មការសហព័ន្ធនៅស៊ីដនីរដ្ឋ New South Wales ផ្ដល់ឱកាសឲ្យខ្ញុំអាននៅសេចក្តីថ្លែងការណ៍ជាភាសាអង់គ្លេសរបស់គោលការណ៍សហព័ន្ធខ្មែរកម្ពុជាក្រោមពិភពលោកខ្មែរកម្ពុជាក្រោម Federation Brief History of the International Human Rights Day. In June 1945, 50 nations attended a conference on international organization in San Francisco with a determination to set up an organization which would preserve peace and hope build a better world. On June 26, 1945, the two historical documents, Charter of the United Nations and Statute of the International Court of Justice, were signed by the representatives of the 50 countries in auditorium of the Veteran Memorial Hall in San Francisco. On October 24, 1945, the Charter has been ratified to create the United Nations officially. The United Nations Day is celebrated every year on this date. Article 55 of the UN Charter calls for the establishment of a set of a universally accepted and observed fundamental human rights so that the peoples would never again going through the abuse and suffering. On December 10, 1948, the Universal Declaration of Human Rights, short word UDHR, was adopted by the United Nations General Assembly at its third session as Resolution 217 at the Palais de Charlotte in Paris, France. The UDHR consists of 30 articles affirming the individual rights. All human beings are born free and equal in dignity and rights. Although UDHR is not a legal binding document, it is a milestone document in the history of human rights. In 1950, the United Nations General Assembly passed a resolution 423V to adopt the December 10 as Human Rights Day, also known as International Human Rights Day, to commemorate the UDHR each year. Stand up for the human rights. As of today, the Khmer Krom people, who are the indigenous people of the Mekong Delta, are still not allowed to freely commemorate the International Human Rights Day on their ancestral land. They cannot enjoy the fundamental rights as enshrined in the UDHR. On the occasion of commemorating the International Human Rights Day, let's stand up together to ask the Vietnamese government to respect the Khmer Krom's right. 1. Allow Khmer Krom to be called and identified as Khmer Krom, not Khmer Nambo. 2. Recognize the Khmer Krom as the indigenous people, not ethnic minority. 3. Allow Khmer Krom to call their villages, districts, and provinces in their Khmer language. 4. Allow Khmer Krom to organize an independent Theravada Buddhist organization. 5. Allow Khmer Krom to establish the organization to monitor and implement the Sustainable Development Goal, short word SDG, to ensure that the Khmer Krom, who are the poorest people in the Mekong Delta, are not left behind. 6. Allow Khmer Krom workers to come back to their village to attend their cultural and religious events such as Khmer Krom New Year. 7. Stop threatening Khmer Krom from freely using the internet or social media to learn or share information. 8. Request for the Vietnamese government to fairly investigate the case of Khmer Krom youth Mr. Huỳnh Trung, who died in suspicious circumstances on the 29th of November 2019. The Khmer Krom Federation based in Sydney, Australia and abroad would like to deeply share the sympathy and condolences to the family of Mr. Huỳnh Trung. Finally, on behalf of the Khmer Krom Federation, thank you very much for your attendance today as we commemorate the 71st International Human Rights Day. Thank you.